The sky, it's more, from my perspective, is more beautiful than to give us that. So I flip the idea of war. The sky will send lights onto the ground to make beauty.
Lights of creation instead of lights of destruction.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it worked. Like now we've been doing it for 6 years, and it's growing.
Yes.
I can see now we're talking on TV about it.
There was one show, however, that you did in Anu that was about war. It was about war. And it was so moving that an audience member came up to you at the end with tears in her eyes and just flat out said, "You bastard." So how is it that you were able to use war in this show that is about creation? And what was the evolution that you were trying to create?
Thank you for this question. Give me a chance to explain more about the way of directing this performance. The performance it's a process. Started with 3 meetings for the artist. It's not a rehearsal, it's just to know each other and play with each other and talk about the theme. So we started talking about war and what kind of war sounds and movement during the war, and what make us in a war condition. And I was talking about how this unsafety feeling make us always defensive.
Oh.
And if we don't feel safe, we have to attack.
I see.
The base idea of it, it's also go back to the circle. And I was saying that in the beginning of the show. I was saying, when we are born out of the womb, we leave a place of safety. Our desire to go back to this place of safety make us face the opposite direction. And because we can't go to that place of safety,
I see.
make us a war condition all the time.
Oh.
At the end of the show, which is contained 3 movements, I was saying we don't realize we are in the womb of the universe. So it's
very profound. Very profound.
Some of the artists, like even audience members, after the show, their life shifted from insecurity to confidence.
Wow.
And then continue their life in a healthy way. So they don't need to fight. They don't need to be vulnerable and weak.
Yes. What is it about art that gives you this kind of passion?
The dynamic of making this life different than just life. Every single moment has its own life.
Okay.
So when this environment, like this kind of environment, holding that and even not knowing about it, but providing it,
right,
and unconsciously.
Yes.
You know, that's the beauty about it. It's spontaneity.
Yeah. So just living itself is already art, and is already something to celebrate all the time.
Yeah. if you are conscious to that, you will be happy all your life.
Wow.
said, yeah.
Wow. And over the years, you have seen this place be a nest for artists, and over the
phenomenal.
years, you have seen your art take flight. So, in many
Yeah,
ways,
even with the support, like they supported my show 2 times, and we grew up together.
That's it for a decade. You know, a lot of times people look to their past where they were brought up in school and they remember somebody from that spent 10 years in school or 3 years, and that's old friendships. But when you meet somebody, and you know, when you're 40 or something or 38, and you spend 10 years, almost 10 years or 9 years, seeing this person almost every day, and there is a really, I can't explain it, but there's a friendship, there is a common interest. And you know, when Jabbar and I get together, it's almost like a Chippendale. You remember those old cartoons of Chippendale? No after you, no after you. And it's actually comical, because it's Jabbar, if you could give him this, he doesn't hold it and put it in his pocket and run away. He just adds it with his and gives it back. And it's this type of communication that is phenomenal. And seeing him start with the new from ground up, you need to know that Jabbar is an amazing artist, like on canvas and that. I mean,
right. Yes.
like literally,
Yes.
my dream. I would love to be an artist. I mean, I wish I would have stuck in school. So when I see people like Jabbar, there it goes again, that whole completion of the whole face of everybody. Here is somebody who I could look at his art and go, awesome, dude. You know, like, wow, how did you do that? It's like you're a kid forever. And then you see some guy like Roscoe Blur, when he used to play sax here. He just go like, what? Like, this is awesome. You know, I want to surround myself. I mean, there's my self-indulgence, is that you get something on the inside. I can't even explain it. You know, like Gino Vanelli once said, the special things in life are free.
Okay.
So, you know, I like that. And so I just think Jabbar is, you got to remember, it's follow Jabbar. He's got a grace on his head. I remember, this is profound, but we were just talking around a year and a half ago. And it was a Saturday, it was just fun, and we're just talking about life and art and just regular things, kids, and he's talking to his son back home. And all of a sudden, he seemed very startled, and he hangs up the phone and looks at me, and he says, I was just talking to my son, who was 19 at the time, right?
Yeah.
And he says, his best friend was just shot.
Oh,
Now
dear.
this is, and here we're in Vancouver, we don't know what's going on. We see what a little bit of the TV shows us. But here's my friend whose son, and I have a daughter, okay? And I always think when she gets older and travels, who would phone Dad, my best friend was just shot down. I don't know what that does to other people. They were getting so tainted on TV, we just go, oh, yeah, whatever, let's flip the channel. But when Jabbar said that to me, I mean, it broke me. I mean, I think it would break anybody if this was your friend who just hung up and nonchalantly, not wanting to burden anybody, says this. That is the type of character that this guy contains from, from life to death. And Anu is a lot about that. Is that circle of life and so forth, which I don't understand. I don't need to understand it. I just need to be able to be part of it. Sometimes when you understand too much, you don't know enough or know it. I understand one thing, and that it comes back that love does this. If there's something, if a person's got a chain, it cuts the chain, warms the hands, and says, in our case, hey, let's go have a coffee.